If you're a mom dealing with or struggling with behavior disorder like oppositional defiant disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, DMDD, conduct disorder, or any other child behavior disorder, and you're pulling your hair out praying to God for an answer, you're going to want to watch this video. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things every parent must stop doing right now that causes these behavior disorders in the first place or expands them into lifelong issues. Now, my name is Bonnie Liotta, and I was doing these 5 things as being taught by every parenting expert teaching authoritative parenting, including peaceful, balanced, attached, conscious, and even gentle parenting that caused my children's outbursts in the first place and left me lying in the bathroom in fetal position, crying on the floor. When I saw the solution in 2011 from a 4th degree martial arts instructor who had perfected the opposite of anything negative while he was teaching his white belts in his award-winning after-school program, my first thought was, every parent in the world needs to know about this. As my children stepped into their champion selves and they started to transform their behavior, what I saw was like magical. They were getting along better, making me breakfast in bed, doing their chores without even being asked, attending school every day, improving their grades, and so much more. So let's talk about the 5 things every parent must stop doing right now if what they desire is true, authentic connection, cooperation, more harmony, peace, and happiness in the home. First of all, I have to say this. If you've been watching our videos for a while and you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff makes so much sense, how do I work with you? We recently launched a masterclass called the 3-part framework to reclaiming peace in your home, the #1 solution for breaking through defiance. You can find the links to all of our books and the masterclass in the description below, or you can just visit rapidgrowthparenting.com. I'm going to get into #1 of 5, but stick around for the whole video because #5 is going to shock you, as it is the #1 thing that we are all doing right now to cause the most amount of chaos in our homes. So #1, we should stop redirecting child behavior. Now think about this. If you've got a toddler who constantly wants to come near the stove or the oven or play with the lamp cord, obviously we don't want them playing with the lamp cord, but what they're looking for in this moment is the life skill of how to play with the lamp cord safely or how to come around a stove in the kitchen safely. Because if they think that the orange, red, hot burner is pretty and their curious mind is like, I really got to know what that is, what do you think they're going to do if you're constantly redirecting rather than teaching them about what heat is the minute that you leave the room? Redirecting is a tactic that's going to bite you later as your children begin to learn about the world either on their own or through somebody else who doesn't really care about them as much as you do. #2, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this one, but stick with me because I'm going somewhere, is we should all stop saying no to our children. Now, that doesn't mean that we automatically just say yes every time they want something, but what is our authentic role as parents? Is it to protect them from anything that might happen to them, so we tell them no? Or is it to prepare them for the world by teaching them how the world works? Every single time your child asks for something, I want a new bike. Hey, we just bought one last year and you left it out in the rain, so absolutely no. Or are you better off saying, oh my gosh, you want a new bike? Well, I can see that. Tell me what kind of bike you would like. You validate their goal. You ask them questions about their goal, and then you show them the truth about sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. Here's what you can do, little Timmy, to earn yourself a new bike. Now, that might not show up tomorrow or next week, but do you think that your child is going to be way more grateful and appreciative of a bike that they worked hard over a period of months to earn the money for, to buy on their own? And they also might say, hey, you know what? Because I'm working hard to earn money, I saw this bike over here. It's a little used, but it's half the price of a bike that you could buy in the store. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this one. Doesn't that just make sense? #3 is we got to stop taking things away from our kids when they do something that we don't like. First of all, how did they get the Xbox in the house in the first place? Did they go out, like I said a minute ago, and earn their own money to buy their own video game machine and then buy their own video games with their own hard-working job? Or is it something you bought them for Christmas, you brought into the house, let them play with it, and then when they do something you don't like start freaking out during the video game, you come in and you take something away? Now think about this. When you just say, that was wrong, I don't like that, that's called misbehavior, I'm going to take away your cell phone now, that first of all, you never asked for, second of all, you never earned it by yourself, and third of all, I'm in complete control of everything that you do. How is that ever going to end up positive? How is that ever going to show them how to make these things show up? So you're much better off sharing a parent-approved plan on what they can do to make these privileges show up in their life. If you've got a 10, 11, or 12-year-old, perhaps they can earn 30 to 60 minutes of social media time a day, or whatever it is that's important to you. The point is when we give them everything for free that they don't have to work for, and we come in as the warden and, nope, that was bad, I'm taking that away now for a week, it doesn't show them actually what to do to get it back. Share with me in the comments what seems more empowering to you. The fourth thing that every parent should stop doing right now is called bribing. Now, first of all, if we go ahead and bribe a police officer or a judge in court, what happens? Well, you get arrested. It's illegal. And yet the first thing that we go to when we're dealing with our 2-year-olds and beyond, because everything that we do at 2 becomes a habit as the child becomes older, is we think that we need to bribe these little buggers to follow us around or do what we want them to do. When's the last time you found yourself bribing your child, and how well did that work for you? It might seem to work at first or for a little while, but before you know it, anytime you want your child to do something, they're going to say, well, you owe me 20 bucks, or if you give me this, well, I might help you carry in the groceries. And that's not going to work for anybody. So, bribing versus earning. What seems more empowering, and what's going to help you put your leadership crown on and earn respect from your children in the home? And the fifth thing every parent should stop doing right now if they want cooperation, harmony, joy, peace, and authentic connection is coming in to correct behavior in the moment. Because there's only one thing that I can promise you about child behavior is they're going to do things that you're not going to like. It's not because they were born these little defiant buggers that we need to force into compliance. It's that children are born with no life skills. When your baby comes out of the womb, it comes out with a personality, but absolutely zero idea of how the world works. They don't even know how to hold their own bottle or hold a fork or sit up straight in a chair, let alone holding open a door, using manners when they're out and about in public, or how to behave in a restaurant. So if we're constantly coming around correcting child behavior in the moment, what's going to happen is eventually this child is going to explode. They're going to have meltdowns and temper tantrums. And if even one time a meltdown or a temper tantrum works for them to get their own way, then what we're going to do is breathe life into that vibration, and they're going to continue to do it. And children that continue to do it into childhood, well, they're going to be diagnosed with a behavior disorder like intermittent explosive disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, DMDD, conduct disorder, and many others of these 21st century child behavior disorders. Tomorrow, I'm going to share 7 surprising ways to handle defiant behavior. But in the meantime, instead of coming along and doing these 5 things, redirecting, saying no, taking things away, bribing, and correcting behavior in the moment, you're way better off seeing your little genius for what they are, this little beautiful spirit missing life skills. Anything that they're doing that drives you crazy, we need to start thinking and make better plans. So make a list. Do they hit their little sister? Do they throw food across the room? Are they screaming during video games? Do they leave their socks and toys all over the floor? What are they doing, mom or dad, that you would like to nip in the bud and show them the proper way to handle life? then you're going to want to start thinking one life skill at a time, understanding that they don't learn by the words that you speak. They don't learn by having things removed or by feeling like they've done something wrong. They learn by how you act. They learn by the things that you do. They learn by monkey see, monkey do, not by talking things through, which would be the sixth thing that every parent should stop doing right now. Last week, I did a video talking about why doctors are wrong about your child's defiant behavior, and you can just watch that by clicking right over there. Make sure to click like on the video, subscribe to our channel, because tomorrow, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm going to talk about 7 surprising ways to handle defiant behavior. I'm Bonnie Liotta. Until we meet again, here's to your parenting success.